Hello YouTube. This is a video response to God's 5 loaded questions for atheists. Now, you mentioned in the video comments that it's okay for agnostics to answer these questions, so I thought I'd give it a shot. Let's get started.
Question number one. Someone that you love dearly is on their deathbed. Medicine has done all it can do. You've done all you can do. They've done all they can do. All of your options have been fully exhausted. And now there's nothing left but to sit back and watch them die. Do you pray? And if so, to whom do you pray? Do you pray to any particular religion that's out there, or do you just throw some up in the air to whom it may concern? And what exactly do you pray? How does the prayer go? How does it begin?
I think I would be inclined to pray to the Christian God. Let's call him Yahweh Mark III. And that's mostly because the Christian God was the patron god whom I believed existed for 18 years. So I think it would be more of a reflex rather than thinking it would actually do something. With regards to the form of the prayer, it would probably be something like, God, if you're listening, if you could make this person better, I'd appreciate it. Probably something like that. Now, I like this question because a cousin of mine, when her mom was suffering from cancer, she called into a Christian church and asked for a prayer for her mom. And the only thing that the person praying for her mom was willing to do was to ask for God's will in the situation. Which she didn't really appreciate. I think she would have liked something a little more direct. So I don't think that I have any reason to believe that the prayer would be anything other than wishful thinking, but if it would help make somebody feel better, why not?
Question number two. Name a theist that you're particularly fond of, either alive or historic, without whose contribution the world you're in now would not be the way that it is. And if you would, please name someone that's not parenthetically a theist, but someone who had to have been a theist to have made the contribution for which you're honoring them now.
How about the big man Paul himself? It's quite an accomplishment to have your writings continue to be discussed by the entire world 2,000 years later, and have your ideas shape the tradition which became the dominant strain of the largest world religion. I'd say he is indeed quite intriguing. Do I admire him? To an extent, yeah.
Number three. Assume for a moment that the universe is indeed created, based upon all that you can observe in the universe you're in. Whether it's through a telescope, whether it's out the back window of your home, or whether it's through a microscope, or anything else that's observable in your universe. How does all that you see describe the personality of said creator?
I think that the universe itself, and humankind in particular, would illustrate a deity that's either incompetent or apathetic at best, or malevolent at worst.
Number four, although the races among your species are the result of evolution, one cannot deny that ethnic strife has been pervasive throughout your species' recorded history, and that left unchecked it may eventually cause you to go extinct. You must therefore conclude that evolution will somehow correct this problem. And there's really only two ways that evolution can correct this. One, that you evolve in such a way that you will all be able to get along finally, highly unlikely, or two, an all-out race war, baby. If evolution corrects your species' ethnic strife by the latter, which race will you be rooting for?
With the continuation of the species in mind, I would probably root for the population group which has the largest level of resistance to environmental pathogens.
And related to number four is question number five. Evolutionarily speaking, was the earthquake in Haiti a good thing?
The evolutionary process, with all of its mistakes along the way, is pretty indifferent to human suffering. So even though an earthquake really has nothing to do with that process, it's also just as indifferent. So I don't really know how to answer this question. The deity that you wanted me to describe earlier is just as indifferent to human suffering, but I can see that you aren't. So, thank you for being on YouTube and for asking these questions, and I hope to hear from you.